This is one of the very best parts of my job. Few things thrill me as much as going out to take pictures or video of a magnificent place. I'm on an expedition through Zambia, accompanied by my daughter Kate. We are discovering Zambia, and while we do it, we are putting a theory to the test. That a basic 4x4 vehicle with minimal gear and almost no modifications can undertake an ambitious expedition such as this one. It's morning on day 8 and we're on the Kafue River in the Kafue National Park. Our route has taken us from the far south, far west, and now in the middle of this wonderful country. Day 8 and we're on the Kafue River, heading upstream into the national park. Our Malawian driver here, Francis, very experienced on the river. Nothing like experiencing an African river from the water at first light. It is truly gorgeous, the colours, the shapes, it's sublime. One is perfectly safe on a boat like this, even with hippos and crocodiles around. Experienced boatsmen will never take you close to a hippo unless they are showing off. And in terms of crocodiles, well, these are crocodile-resistant life jackets. They work because the crocodile's very strong fashion sense just doesn't let them get close. As beautiful as the river is, there is no hiding that, like all the rivers in Zambia, its level is very low. Not only is this the dry season, but Zambia is in the grip of a long drought. We're going to be heading further east today. Our next destination is South Luangwa National Park. To get there, we must go via Zambia's capital, Lusaka. Well, we're on our way to Lusaka, leaving Roy's camp. Roy's camp, what a delight. Fantastic, by far the best campsite so far on our trip. And we're now heading to Lusaka to restock and then onto South Luangwa National Park. Yet another police roadblock. Lots of them as we approach Lusaka. Not too many generally. Let's see what this one's like. Standard procedure, sunglasses off, lots of friendliness. Hello. Thank you. Good, thank you. Sometimes they just wave you through, other times they look for one or more of the forms that were collected at the border post. So they're always close at hand in one envelope all together, because on average per day I would say we've been asked twice a day on average. So as the sun sets on day 8 of our Zambia expedition, we are at a place called Pioneers Camp. It's outside Lusaka. We've taken from Kafue, headed east through Lusaka, got some supplies, and this is the lodge where we will actually take a break from camping, and also because we need to get up really early tomorrow to hit the Great East Road towards Patauki, Chipata and Mvuu, the gateway to the South Luangwa National Park. But we've been warned, the road is appalling. So we're going to take it will take a similar time as the appalling road, but it's far more interesting, far more entertaining. It's the mountain road from Patauki directly to Mvuu, and we've been told it is spectacularly beautiful. Very rough, very slow going, but really worth it. Depending on the time, tomorrow we will either wild camp on the banks of the Luangwa River, or if we manage to reach Mvuu, we will actually find one of the local campsites. As we approach Luangwa, we cross the Luangwa River. The level is depressingly low. 80% of Zambia's electricity is created by hydroelectric power. But with so little water in so many of the rivers, the average Zambian citizen only gets electricity for 7 hours each day. We are without doubt, the most remote, isolated, wild part of the expedition so far. We were on the main road from Lusaka to Patauki to Chipata on our way to South Luangwa, and the road became hell on earth. Trucks, detours, they're building the road. And an alternative was this road, and we were actually advised to take it instead. It is narrow, incredibly rough, and our speed is down, averaging probably 15 kilometers an hour is our average speed. We've been now from Patauki, when we left the road, so we've done 75 kilometers, and it has taken us 3.5 hours, so you do the maths. Beautiful country, remote country, but what it means is that we're not going to reach the gate to the South Luangwa National Park today. No chance. We are going to have to wild camp somewhere en route. We're just going to push on till about 5 o'clock. That's another hour and a half, and then look for a campsite. By then, I'm hoping we would have reached the banks of the Luangwa River. This place is teeming with game. What an amazing opportunity to wild camp here. I want to find a place off the road so that we are not easily seen by passing traffic or people. It also means there's a better chance of close encounters with animals. We are in sight of the road. Not that there's a lot of traffic, but there are people. So ideally, when wild camping, it'd be nice to be on your own and not disturbed. I'm going to have to drive the Isuzu down this bank into the river bed. But being in a wildlife area, we've got to take certain precautions. Wary of getting punctures by driving over logs, it's a good idea if I remove them. Travelling without another vehicle as backup if something does go wrong, so it's wise to be especially careful. Finding a wild camp in a game area. The most important thing to look for are game tracks or game paths, and they're actually quite obvious. They just look like footpaths. They're well-worn areas where the animals move, and they are often to and from water. And in this particular case, well, the one that is reasonably close is very old. You can see it's been maybe months since it was last used, but still I'm not going to park too close to it. It's a bit of a distance over there. If any animal comes down, they will be at a safe distance to be able to cross without getting worried about us, and we will be at a safe distance from them, and we'll be able to watch the passing parade if we are lucky enough to have one. But other than that, just be very sensitive of the ecology. This is a riverbed. I felt okay driving in a riverbed. Once the rains come, any tracks that I make will be eradicated. Driving like I've done over just the ground, over in wilderness desert areas, is an absolute no-no. Those tracks never disappear. When I say never, I'm talking about 20, 30, 40 years. Those tracks that you've made can stay there. So it's an absolute no-no. So if you're going to drive off-road in a wildlife situation, you know, in a desert environment, no, really just don't do it. But here, of course, on a riverbed, I'm not doing any harm. And this is interesting here. This is called a midden. This is where it's a collective toilet, a collective wild latrine. And I can recognize here impala, and this one here, and I actually can't remember what it is. Indented. From my year in Botswana, I should remember what it is, but I can't. I'll have to look it up and put a title up. Was a tough day's driving.
Yeah, about 10 hours.
10 hours, and the last 6 were very tiring, very slow, 4-wheel drive, second and third gear the whole time. Anyway, we deserve this amazing campsite. Cheers. Thank you for watching. If you would like to take our relationship to the next level, support me on Patreon. Just $1 a month to support our video productions. Download everything I've ever made and watch them on the big screen on forexoverland.com. Or subscribe now on YouTube.